Yo, thank you so much for clicking on this video and welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Aska, Limitless Mom Kenya, and today I'm going to talk to you about breastfeeding hacks. Top breastfeeding hacks that you do not know about. Yo, happy breastfeeding week to all nursing moms out there and all pregnant ladies who are heading there. Now, today I'm going to be talking about something, I've been wanting to talk about for quite a while. It's about the top breastfeeding hacks that every pregnant and nursing mother should know. So if you're interested, if you have somebody who's interested in this video, keep watching. You'll share this information with them. So guys, from the 1st to the 7th of August this month, we are having the breastfeeding week, and it's the best time to share information about breastfeeding with mothers out there, especially first-time moms, because guys, it's a challenge being a first-time mom around Kenya because information is not readily available. Most of the nurses need to get paid to give this information out. So guys, I'm here for you. I've had 1 year and 6 months experience and I'm still nursing at the moment. So guys, please bear with me. I'm actually on my way to go do my evening yoga. That's why I look like this. It's I think 4 right now. So after this, I'm going to be doing my yoga. I'm going to share with you 2 issues that have occurred to me during my breastfeeding journey. The first one is blocked milk ducts. Milk ducts are those holes that milk passes through when the baby is breastfeeding. So guys, there's some ladies who have big areolas and others who have small ones. So sometimes you find that the areola, the areola is where that black part of the breast, the coverage of the black part of the breast, if you know what I mean. I'm going to share with you an image up here of different types of areolas so that ladies can be able to figure out where they fall. So what you're meant to do is to make sure the baby opens the mouth and the entire areola as much as you can. You just put the boob inside and make sure that the baby covers as much areola as they can, so that those ducts that are on the areola are able to all emit milk, if you know what I mean. So sometimes you find some part of the areola is outside, or the baby has not latched well, so you find that part that is left outside produces milk, but the milk does not come out. So in a zibika, if you get what I mean, it gets blocked, that hole. So when it gets blocked, it becomes like there are stones in there. Yani it's like it's swollen, and then it's like there are stones in there. It becomes very uncomfortable and very painful even when you're sleeping. So it's important, guys, to know how to deal with this. I will share with you how. The second issue is engorgement. Guys, engorgement is when your boobs are full of milk, really full. Sometimes it gets really painful, and I'm going to share with you how you're going to deal with that. And then I have a story that I'll share with you in another video, of course not this one because it's a long story, of my mastitis, how I got mastitis and how you should avoid getting mastitis. I think there's a time my baby bit me, and then there was, like, of course, a tear on my nipple, and then I think he kuteuka. What's kuteuka in English? He belched or burped when the boob is still inside his mouth. So when that happened, of course, there's that milk residue that comes out of him, got in contact with that part that had the part where it had cracked. Yeah, so I got an infection, guys. Then I got mastitis. Story for another day. That is the worst thing you can experience as a breastfeeding mother. Trust me, if you have gotten mastitis, comment down below, tell me how your experience was. I'll share with you a video on how I dealt with it, how I found out I have it, because it's self-diagnosable, guys. So yeah, the symptoms of the 2 blocked milk ducts and engorgement are breast pain. You feel pain, guys, on your boobs. Naturally, you're not supposed to feel pain even when you have milk inside, but when you're feeling pain, know that there's an issue there. Then there's swelling or redness. When I got mastitis, my boobs, I could see veins, you guys, on my boobs. It was hard, and I could see veins along the boobs just going down to the areola. That should not happen at all. It's unnatural. So if you see that, consult a doctor. Then there's fever, chills. You get some kind of feverish kind of feel. It's like you're having malaria. It's like you're having, yeah, I think malaria is the most common kind of disease where you're shaking, you're shivering, you have a fever, you're feeling cold and all that. In Kenya, I think. In other places, I'm not sure what kind of disease I should associate this with. Anyway, so guys, the things that you need to avoid so that you don't get these things are: avoid tight bras. When you're breastfeeding, make sure that either you stay without a bra when you're in the house, because anyway, you'll be breastfeeding throughout, and especially the first couple of months. And when you're on maternity leave, do not wear bras. Wear vests that have this thing up here for clipping and closing, if there are any that you have, or just wear t-shirts. Get t-shirts that are going to be for breastfeeding. And then if you insist on wearing a bra, wear a nursing bra, so that and make sure they are those that have no ring ukuchini wire. They don't have a wire down here, so you're able to you know, it's able to allow for your breast to keep growing while milk is being produced in there, if you get what I mean. Guys, let's share the breastfeeding hacks. Tip number 1, make sure your baby gets a good latch. That means when you're trying to breastfeed your baby, make sure they open their mouth. Open the baby's mouth using your nipple like this. You know, try and have them open their mouth by putting your nipple somewhere here on the baby's chin, and the baby will open their mouths. Make sure your baby opens the mouth for them to breastfeed. Otherwise, you're going to deal with clogged milk. That's because your areola will not be fully immersed into the baby's mouth, if you get what I mean. Number 2, while you're feeding on, of course, unless you're having twins, you would be feeding off of one boob. So unless you're breastfeeding 2 babies at the same time, if you're breastfeeding on one side, just have a pump, or there's this thing called a milk collector. There's a brand called Hookah that I know of, but the other brands that you can go for, you put it here to collect milk that is pouring, because most of the time when you hear baby cry, your milk is going to pour. When you're breastfeeding from one boob, your milk is going to pour. So make sure this other boob is either being pumped while you're still breastfeeding the baby, or you collect the milk that is pouring from there, because you know, breast milk is gold, you guys. The amount of time and money that goes with investing in getting more milk for your baby is just too much. You cannot afford to let it just pour and go to waste. That is the first thing. The second thing why you need to collect your milk is because you're going to relieve yourself of overproduction of milk from one side of the boob. And if you're actually leaving or not staying with the baby for a while, it's important to let go of what is on the other side, so that you don't get engorgement on one boob and the other is okay. So to avoid engorgement, make sure you don't wear tight bras, and if you do, wear nursing bras that have no wire underneath, so that it allows your boobs to get full and not really give you that discomfort or hurt you from underneath. And then make sure you wean gradually. Don't just decide today I'm giving my baby food and I'm stopping breastfeeding. It's going to hurt you dearly. Make sure when you get home, if you're going to work, get home, get into the hot shower, so that the first milk that has been there for a while, if you've not pumped at work, that is released, so that you don't give the baby bad milk. I hear Africans call it bad milk. I don't know if it's bad milk, but for me, I was pumping in the office, so when I got home, I would just shower and compress, massage my boob, so that whatever is in there that has not been pumped for a while, or whichever, I used to just shower and massage my boobs, so that whatever is in there is released, and then it produces more, it keeps producing more. And this tip will also help you produce more milk with time, guys. Just try this. If you're having trouble with getting breast milk, do a hot shower or a hot compress. Take a face towel, a towel, just get a towel, and then you be putting it in hot water, and then you massage your boobs with it, guys. This will improve your milk supply if you're going low on milk supply. So the first one was how to avoid engorgement. This second one is how to relieve engorgement when it's actually happened. So the first thing that actually worked for me, and worked for me even when I was having the experience for mastitis that night before I went to the hospital, is using cold cabbage leaves. So you see that cabbage, when you go buy it, it normally has leaves outside that you normally cut and throw off and throw away. Take those leaves, put them in the freezer so they get cold real quick, then put them in your bra. This tip helps you to make your boob produce less milk during that specific period of time that you have the cabbage on. And especially if probably you're breastfeeding and then this other side you want it to not produce so much milk, you can put cabbage leaves inside, cold ones that can be able to compress and reduce on the production of the milk and pouring of the milk. It also helps you to relieve with the pain that comes with engorgement, guys. Make sure you use cabbage leaves, because me, it actually worked for me. If you're planning to wean, of course, wean gradually. And when you're breastfeeding, make sure that you switch your boobs. Don't give the baby too much of one side. It's recommended to do up to 20 minutes of breastfeeding when your baby is small, but as they grow up and they start weaning, it goes down 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whichever, depending also on the supply. So keep switching so that you don't have one that suffers too much from, because guys, what happens is babies normally have a favorite boob. So if you do not give them milk from that other boob that is not the favorite, you'll end up getting so much pain and you'll get sick. So it's important to keep switching your boobs, if you get what I mean. Yeah. Make sure you invest in a good pump. I had shown you, if you've not watched my reviews for the pumps that I've used, I'm going to share a link up here for the Medela single manual pump that I normally use when I was breastfeeding this side and pumping on this side with my manual pump for the Medela. Yeah, it's called Medela single manual pump, if I'm not wrong. It's just one that you keep pumping in the process as you're breastfeeding. Then I have one that I reviewed for Lansing that is an electric one also that you can actually use. You just put the cup here and then it does everything else because it's electric. You also have a breastfeeding kit. Have a box where you're able to put all the things that you need for breastfeeding. That means nursing pads. You need nursing pads. I had shared with you in my previous hospital bag video. I'll share the link up here so that you can be able to check it out. You would need nursing pads. You would need nipple shield. Nipple shield also helps you when you have cracked nipples and you need to breastfeed your baby, because at the end of the day, guys, when you have cracked nipples, you need to breastfeed your baby either way, and it's painful. But when you have a nipple shield, you put it on top, the baby can be able to breastfeed through it. They don't have to keep sucking a place where you actually cracked, because it's actually very painful. And it's also, I had also shared with you as a tip that it's also helpful for people who have big areolas, so that you have all the milk that is coming out captured in the process, because it covers a large surface area, if you get what I mean. Also, make sure you have a nipple cream in there. You can do a DIY one, or you can buy ones from Lansino or Medela. You will also need to have a nursing pillow and a water bottle for yourself, because when you're breastfeeding, you get a lot of thirst. You get thirsty a lot. So just have a water bottle in your nursing station. Nursing station doesn't mean that you create a space for yourself for nursing. It's just where you normally sit, your favorite spot where you can sit and do your pumping or do your nursing. Of course, get a couch, a space in your couch that is just for you and your baby. So have your kit there close to you. So you just carry one thing, and then if it's a bag, just carry one thing and then put it next to you. Then you can be able to do everything, because once you're seated down, standing up becomes a problem. Trust me, guys. I'm going to share with you in a nutshell how to boost your milk supply, but I'll share a different video on this in detail, on what you can be able to find locally available in Nairobi here in Kenya. So how to boost your milk supply. Number one, make sure you eat right. Wait, let me start with power pumping. Guys, if you've not pumped before and then you start pumping maybe with your second child or third child, you'll notice that pumping helps you boost your milk supply. It becomes more than you actually expected. That is something my auntie even confessed to me, guys. So power pumping is important. Doing pumps in intervals and pumping while the baby is breastfeeding at the same time helps you produce more milk. And then eating the right foods. Keep experimenting, see what works for you, and then you can be able to feed on the right things. Sometimes there's some people who have lactation cookies. You can take that. There's some supplements also that boost milk supply. You can take that. There's flax seeds, there's dill seeds. There's so many things that you can take that supplement your milk supply. You can also take them, but I will do a comprehensive video after this on how to boost your supply. Another thing I want to share, you guys, as I'm going to yoga right now, which I think I should actually share. I did some research just before I started hitting the gym, that there's something you need to be very careful when you're exercising if you're still nursing. So some people mostly exercise after they've stopped the baby from breastfeeding. You know, exercise normally affects your milk supply and affects the quality of your milk. Well, yeah, it actually affects the quality of your milk because of production of lactic acid. So it's going to cause, you know, some discomfort on the baby's, you know, stomach, the gut health. So after exercising, and especially if the exercise is intense, you need to give it like, what was it? Like 90 minutes for the lactic acid to wear off of your breast milk so that you can be able to breastfeed your baby. Or feed the baby before you go work out and then come back and, you know, shower, press it down, then give it some time for the lactic acid to wear off, then you can be able to feed your baby. Please guys, if you're not quite sure about this information, go ahead and research more, and then you can be able to comment down below. Just comment down below, tell me what you think, tell me if it's something that you actually share and you actually know about. Yo guys, just as a parting shot, something that many guys ask, and ladies too who've not had babies, is that the size of the boob does not determine the amount of milk you produce. The size and the quantity don't worry, even you have tiny, you know, tiny boobs, you still produce milk. I had tiny boobs, but now they're big. But still, I had tiny boobs, and I have a friend who has large double D's, and they don't produce much. Guys, they're actually asking me what I do differently that they're not doing. You know, the size is just fatty tissues, and not like hollow space for milk to be stored, if you get what I mean. So if you have small, it's okay, you still produce, don't worry. It has nothing to do, the size has nothing to do with your milk supply. So yeah, if you're not subscribed yet, go down below, hit the red button there. Next to it, there's a notification bell. Just click on it so that you're notified anytime I post, and if you're interested in my content. The thing is, subscribing doesn't cost you anything, it's free. My mom asked me, do I need to pay to subscribe? Imagine, my mom asked me that. You don't need to pay, it's free. So go ahead, hit the button, click on the notification bell, and we'll see you in my next